The pond. Neighboring pond owners had warned us several times about the heron. It's an old smart bird that floats down like a well-aimed parachute, lands straight on your pond on its extended legs, and eats all your fish within the minute, neighbor. I'm just warning you, one pond owner to the other. This summer I've had to get new fish 3 times already. It's just throwing your money in the water as long as this heron is about. Something has to be done about this animal. I'm going to call City Hall tomorrow to get a license to shoot it down. Damned if I don't. But our mayor thankfully wasn't having that. In the meantime, the expensive flash visits by the heron just went on. Our neighborhood didn't know what to do. A signed petition didn't work. Some people put nets over their ponds, others planted scary aluminum flags in the water plants, and 2 neighbors manufactured a so-called scarecrow. Nothing could take the heron out of its stride. Our pond also got emptied 2 summers in a row. The first time we just saw him take off, slowly, still savoring our goldfish heavy in his stomach. When we ventured out to look, nothing swam anymore. The second time, last summer, we didn't see him till he was accurately having his walking dinner in our pond for about €50. We ran out screaming, cursing and waving our arms, but all was in vain. He just stood there, getting bigger and bigger while we approached, and looking at us so smug and self-assured, we let him be to swallow the last goldfish, whereupon he, as a goodbye, squirted a straight beam of shit when taking to the sky en route to his next port of dining call. Something had to be done. That heron shouldn't talk out of its ass saying this was the way of nature. There's plenty canals around. He can just keep out of our expensive ponds. But how to scare him off in some way or other? We can't be expected to sit by the pond all day wearing a scary mask. When the weather's fine, we sometimes put Grandma out with a good book without her knowing why she's there, but there has to be a more elegant solution. There was one, just in, reported the much-robbed neighbor one morning, out of breath. A plastic heron on a stick. You put it in the soil, right next to your precious pond. It looks so real. Other herons don't dare land. They're German, those herons, but you'll have to be quick. The stock's running out. Where? Where? We wanted to know. At the Better Pet Shop, of course, the neighbor shouted, and we were in the car. He stands up straight at the edge of our pond, a bit to the side so we can see his face, and you'd swear he's real. Those Germans make the herons so they can stand just as still as living herons. The colors are exactly like in nature, and also the little boy-like hair at the back of the head is not forgotten. His beak is precisely the right yellow. You would just want to put him in the living room, so beautiful. But then the real heron will think the coast is clear, and I don't want to go to the pet shop again this year because I can't stand the caged birds. Every day we move him a bit so the bad heron won't get wise to it. The situation seems ideal without danger. Everything wriggles, blooms, swims and grows, and the pond can lie down on its back again and think. Still, there's a problem remaining. It was my daughter who asked after 3 days, "What do the fish think about this?" About our heron? Yes, aren't they afraid? Now they see that heron looming over them all day. Well, they know he's not real, of course. I pretended to know. Goldfish are very smart that way. They catch on quickly. Yes, but maybe only by evening, she said worriedly. When he hasn't moved all day, they'll go to sleep. But the next morning he's moved, so they'll be terrified all day again. I felt how gruesomely right she was. But we can't remove him anymore, I weakly said. We have to make a choice. Better they're a teensy bit afraid than eaten, all of them. No, she shouted, not remove, of course. That old prick will come again. But let's put him away from the pond a bit so the fish won't have to see him all day. We chose a spot in an imaginary circle about a meter from the pond. I look out my window and I see him, his back towards me. It's kinda like a cruise missile, our heron standing there.